Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Ash and I'm here with another review roundup video. In these videos I cover 4 games I've been playing recently, and in this one I've got games on Switch, Xbox and PC to talk about. Now I'm going to jump straight into the first one, and that is the Exit 8. Now, I played a game like this recently and it was more horror based, whereas this one sees you basically find yourself trapped in this endless, like, underground train station passageway tunnel thing. You're trying to get on to the station, but you're endlessly in like a constant loop. And the aim of the game is to either spot anomalies or check there are no anomalies correctly 8 times. So you'll walk the same path over and over, and every time you do it, something will either be off or it won't be off. Some of these are quite obvious, they're big anomalies, some of them are small. It's not really a horror game as such. There's no real like scary moments or anything like that. Sometimes a bit suspenseful, it puts you on your end a little bit. But all in all, it's more about like observing your surroundings and stuff like that. Now, it is a little unsettling in just the nature of it. You're in this like white lighted, clean, like Japanese subway station, basically. And the game itself doesn't take too long. You can get through this in under an hour. I mean, you could blitz it in 20 minutes if you know what you were looking for. You've learned all the anomalies and stuff like that. But an average playtime is about 45 minutes. Now, if you make a mistake, you go back to the beginning and you have to start again. So it's all about sort of making sure you spot what isn't correct, and you'll slowly but surely work your way through 8 times to the end to finally get to the exit. Now, atmospherically, this is really good. Graphically, it's not bad. It looks fine. The characters and the models and everything are decent. There's not a lot to it. It is basically just a like subway platform, tiled stairs, signs on the walls, and stuff like that. It is only a cheap game though. Like on Steam, it's available for about £3.39. I think it's exactly the same on the Switch as well. Now, this released on the 17th of the 4th, 2024 from publisher Playism, and they were kind enough to send me a copy for this video. So huge thank you to them for that. I love these little weird games. There's also a sequel that has come out on Steam that follows up from this called Platform 8. So if you do enjoy this one, there is a follow-up. I think it'll eventually come to Switch as well, most likely. But just bear that in mind. It's a fun, weird little game. Not overly long. Like I say, it is only like I say, less than an hour, but it's a unique experience. And if you can buy it at a price, like I say, for £3 odd, it's well worth your time. And I look forward to finding out more games like this, but maybe in different settings, not just the same sort of corridors over and over again. Okay, next up is A Game's Tale. Now, this released on the 7th of June 2024 from developer publisher Visquo, and they sent me a copy the other week to have a play. I've not played this fully yet, so this is being added here because I really want to talk about it because I've been playing it while I was on holiday, but I haven't got to the end of it yet. So it's a sort of work in progress review. So far, I'm quite enjoying it. It's a weird mix between like third person, like RPG adventure game where you explore worlds and interact with characters and everything in like a third person perspective. But then you end up in battles where you have like top down, sort of turn based, tile based combat where you move your characters around on like hexagonal spaces and stuff like that. You have like a deck of different creatures you can use in battles and stuff. There's a whole host of, I think there's 6 different classes for your creatures, and it's just unique. The world is very nicely made. The sound design is really cool as well. It's a little rough around the edges. It is an indie game. It could do with just a little bit of TLC. But honestly, it's been very well designed. It's a nice change. And like I said, when you're in the third person, the worlds and the characters look quite detailed. When you're out of the third person, they are a little like more zoomed out, a little less in depth and stuff like that. But the core gameplay is pretty fun. And like I say, you basically build up a sort of deck of like creature cards, and you can pick and choose which ones you want to use in battles, which is pretty nifty. And then it plays a lot like playing like a D&D game where there's enemies as you can move around and sort of attack and stuff in turn. All in all, not bad. Just say just a little rough around the edges, but it is only priced at £10.99. So definitely check this one out. It's on Steam. It does also have Steam achievements as well, and I do wonder if it'll come to other platforms in the future as well. But so far, definitely kept my interest. I'm looking forward to finishing the campaign. Okay, next up is Doug's Nightmare. Now, this is available on all platforms, released on the 22nd of the 5th, 2024, developed by Undev Games and published by East Asia Soft Limited. And they were kind of to me a copy on Xbox, so huge thank you to them for that. Now, this is a hand drawn bullet hell sort of twin stick shooter style game where you play as a banana who is fighting its inner demons and self doubt by basically beating them up and killing them all. So you will punch your way through a whole host of enemies. You'll pick up awesome weapons from melee to ranged, including like boxing gloves, rocket launchers, Gatling guns. You get tons of different costumes as well along the way. And yeah, it's just a crazy over the top bullet hell game with tons of enemies and a really awesome style. It does look like someone's just drawn this on a piece of paper, the way it's got like shading and stuff like that on the characters, on the backgrounds and stuff. Looks absolutely awesome. Now, it's a fun little game. I must admit, I did like the sort of twin stick style sort of combat and everything like that. The game does feature multiple difficulties as well, so if you want a bit more of a challenge, you can bump it up or you can turn it down to make it slightly easier. It does also feature like comic style cutscenes, which I thought was nice from a like a budget indie game. I wasn't expecting to have cutscenes like that, which is really cool. And honestly, the amount of different enemy variations from like a giant brain. You have like zombie bananas, which I thought were cool. They kind of reminded me of like the nurses from like Silent Hill, Aliens, all that sort of stuff. Weird, wonderful. It's just absolutely stupid. Now, on Xbox, it's playable on Xbox One and Xbox Series X and S consoles. It's also optimized for Series X and S with 60 FPS and 4K resolution, and it's priced at $4.99. Now, it's obviously available on other platforms as well. But it's silly. You go through a whole host of environments. They're not super large, but just big enough that you can avoid all the enemies and their attacks and stuff like that. You'll literally just lay waste to tons of them and then eventually take on like bigger bosses, which are pretty awesome. They're like old school bosses with like attack patterns and stuff like that. Very like arcadey sort of feel to them, which I've really enjoyed. So definitely check that one out. This is one of my favourites I've been playing in the last couple of weeks. Fun, not overly long. Stupid premise that you're playing as like a self-doubting banana, but all in all, actually an enjoyable little game. Okay, and last up, I have the Hong Kong Massacre. Now, this released way back in 2019 for PS4 and PC. It was then ported to Switch, but it's finally come to Xbox on the 7th of June. Now, it's from publisher Untold Tales and developer Vresky, and I was looking to send a copy. And this one is awesome. It's a sort of top-down shooter game inspired by like classic sort of movies like John Woo movies, and the best way to describe this is Hotline Miami meets Stranglehold or Max Payne. So you've got like the over the top graphical, like top down style of Hotline Miami with the blood and guts and everything, but you've got like the bullet time effects from Stranglehold and Max Payne. Now, this game is awesome. There's a ton of levels to play through, and I had an absolute blast playing it. Yeah, this one, I love these types of games. I really liked Hotline Miami. But honestly, while it is like challenging, it's really, really good. Now, graphically, it's a lot more realistic than what you get in like Hotline Miami. It's all 3D models and stuff like that. Blood splattering everywhere. Oh, it's great. It is slightly difficult at times, but you can like destroy the environments and stuff like that. Oh, really, really, really cool. So, if you like those like John Woo films, like Hard Boiled and stuff like that, and you want to play like a game that's similar in them, where you play as this like former police detective trying to sort of get vengeance for his partner's murder, then you're going to love this one. It's all about using like the bullet time, slow motion, dodging, and attacking your enemies as much as possible through a whole host of over the top shootouts. Now, there's over 30 plus levels to this game. I think there's about 35 in the entire game. And some of them are short, some of them are longer, but they're all absolutely enjoyable. It is one of those games, though, where it's like one hit kill. So if you do get hit, you die, you have to start again. Very similar to Hotline Miami, but it's really good. You'll eventually, like I say, you get to choose from like multiple guns, so you can have like a pistol, shotgun, SMG, and stuff like that. You basically have to like wipe out all the enemies in the level and then move on. But there's so many different environments. There's like back alleys, rooftops, restaurants, like houses, all that sort of stuff. Really cool, really enjoyable. If you like sort of like John Wick films, that sort of thing, or you've ever played Hotline Miami, then I definitely recommend checking this one out. Now, on Xbox, it's playable on Xbox One and Xbox Series X and S consoles, priced at £16.74. And I definitely recommend this one. I would maybe wait for a sale though if you're not super sure. Like because it's been out so long on Steam, I think recently it was on sale for like £3.35, something like that. So you've just got to obviously bear that in mind. You're paying extra because it is brand new on Xbox. But if you're going to play it on other consoles, you can probably grab it at a fantastic price. But anyway, guys, that's that for the 4 games in this review roundup. Which one was your favourite? Which ones do you want to play? Which ones don't you want to play? Let me know in the comments down below. And I'll be back soon with more review videos and more review roundups. Thanks for watching, guys.